Welcome to Future Flushing. I'm Vito Calisi. This is Jonathan Barron. And for the first time in person, it's Dom Hamel. Now, Dom, I've been really in my head about doing this conversation with you because I spelled your name wrong, and you reached out to me to tell me how upset you were with me. Are you still mad at me?
It's something I'm working through still. A couple sleepless nights and a couple of rounds of therapy, but I think we're gonna be all right.
I respect that you reached out to him. A lot of guys would be passive and just let it go, but when he told me that you reached out, I was like, this man's business. I like that.
It's because on the Rockies, back in early 2010s, mid 2010s, there was a Jason Hamel who's a pitcher with the two M's. That's always been a thing for me.
And Cole Hamels,
yeah, exactly. I tell people Cole Hamel's my cousin because that's one M. But
I think Brandon Nimmo hit his first career home run against Jason Hamel.
Really?
You should talk to him about that. Don't ask me why I know that.
This guy's a machine.
Don't ask me why I know that. Anyway, speaking of business, you were all about business last year. A great season, especially second half. From July to end of the year, sub 2.5 ERA. You rode into the playoffs. As you look back on 2023, what are your biggest takeaways from the season that was?
Just knowing I belong at that level. The jump from high to double A was much different from, low A to high or complex to low A. So that was one, just, trusting that it's a long season. And then I guess just being fortunate of, having good pieces there already. And then that trade deadline happened with the Scherzer-Verlander trade, and we got Gilbert and Clifford, and we got Jeremiah Jackson, and just we got loaded up that second half, so I made it even more fun to just want to show up and play and just win. It was super fun.
Is there anybody that you vibed with really well who got here at the trade deadline?
Yeah, Jeremiah Jackson, all those guys that came in were super cool. Obviously, there's kind of a language barrier with Acuna, so I still try and stuff, but the other three guys who came in, yeah, they're just awesome. They meshed really well. It's pretty seamless transition for him. Gilbert, he's got a very loud kind of personality and playing style, and Jeremiah's kind of laid back and just young suave kind of vibes, and just seeing how we all meshed and were able to meet halfway and just play the same game. It was super fun.
I got to bring up something about Drew Gilbert. Are you a fan of the Mighty Ducks movies?
Oh, I haven't seen those in a minute. I haven't seen those since the VCR probably.
If you had to rank them though, which one would you say is the best?
First one.
The first one.
You guys are wild.
No, it's the second one, Tom.
I gotta watch them again. I'm telling you, I haven't watched them.
Do you choose a Citizen Kane of you sports movies?
I haven't watched them in at least 12 years, maybe 15.
Then never mind.
I need a refresher. I watched Little Giants the other day though.
Okay.
All right.
Football movie.
How'd you like that?
I love that movie.
Do you want to? Maybe you could come up with a pitch called the annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's true. Crazy playbook. Add that one in. A little audible.
Yeah, Drew gave us that take. We went to Somerset right after the trade deadline. After the trade deadline, like you mentioned, so much talent was on that team. And for us doing the show every night, it was so much fun to just see the dominance, especially in the starting rotation, where every night you guys were throwing out an ace. You, C. Scott, Tyler Stewart, Blade Tidwell, Luis Moreno. How much fun was it to be a part of that rotation? And on top of that, was there ever a time, either on the team bus or something, that you guys just had that moment of zen where you're like, damn, this is the core that, we're all going to move up together to AAA, and then for the Mets, and this is it right here.
Yeah, absolutely, on multiple occasions. Yeah, just the first half for me was kind of whatever. I was kind of up and down, not as much consistency I'd like. And then right around, that second half when those promotions came in and stuff, we really started to piece stuff together. And, Christian was one of the guys, I got drafted with, so I've known him one of the longest. So, just seeing a familiar face like that from your draft class always helps. And then, when you just add the several other starting guys that are in that rotation and you're just watching them go out there and compete, it's no one's worried, about how many, that's what makes a group so special. No one's worried about, how many punches they have. Obviously that stuff matters at the end of the day, but when we're between the lines, we're all just getting outs and we're just giving our team the best chance to win. And, after, several weeks of just doing that, and it just becomes a routine and we're just rolling out there, 6, 7 shutty and, 8 punchies, whatever on the side. And yeah, exactly. Those bus rides, you sit together, it's Like, we're the New York Ponies, boys. We're the New York Ponies. Come on, not even Syracuse Mets. We're the New York Ponies. Let's do it.
You mentioned 7 shutty innings, 8 strikeouts, and that's exactly what you did in Game 2 against Somerset, the clincher. Vito and I were watching from our couches. Electric. You were so good that night. You were fired up. Just take us through that night, and then one particular play that unfortunately ended the night. Fielder's interference call. But yeah, just take us through that entire night, that whole game, and what that experience was like for you.
Yeah, no, that night was fun. You know, kind of not a rubber match, but a chance for us to clinch the series. And, you know, you really got nothing to lose. We're in a great spot, a lot of great tools. Team was hot already, so it's like, why wouldn't I go out there and just challenge every guy with every pitch? So that was kind of the mindset. And yeah, kind of also we had Matt Minnick on our team, who was just on, you know, Somerset the year prior, and he was kind of talking about it and, you know, how he was treated there. And, you know, we were all very big on Matty and, you know, what he was bringing to the clubhouse and what kind of guy he was. So it's just like, I want them Yankees. I had they had like their poster up in their locker room of them winning the Eastern Championship last year. And so like everyone was in there, and I was like, I just grabbed it, I taped it in my locker, and I crossed out everyone's face on the picture except for Minnick. And I had him take a picture of me before, and I was wearing like my head. I'll send it to you after. But it's just before the game, and I was just like, and then I went crazy.
You gotta start that Yankee hate early.
Exactly. So it was kind of, it was just built up from early on, and we were just really juiced up to be in playoffs. So it's just a lot of cultivating energy that was like, you just can't stop it. It's that kind of thing.
Now, I want to talk to you about some shoes you brought out right now. If you follow Dom on social media, you'll see he had some special cleats made for this season. Do you want to show them to the camera and tell people what they're all about?
Yeah, this is my boy, Evan the Artist. Check him out on Instagram, at Evan the Artist. But, yeah, I got in contact with his momager. That's what she called himself. But yeah, pretty much he had been in the city doing some artwork for some of the Major League Mets guys, and, you know, wanted to move down to some of the prospects. So yeah, pretty much got in contact. I told him what I wanted. I wanted something that, you know, would showcase back home. Got an Arizona skyline, some cacti, and the cityscape right there. And then obviously the city, big city. Wanted that on the shoe as well. And then kind of just told him to do whatever with the colors and just do your own thing, and he killed it.
Now, like,
killed it.
I get nervous to wear my nice sneakers just when, like, the weather's not great. Do you get scared? Like, do you get nervous wearing those when you play? Because those are an art piece.
Yeah, definitely. Especially because this one I was supporting the small business, so I mean I paid for it myself, my own hard-earned money. So I'm like trying to keep on ice as long as I can. But if he was like, "Yo, I'm giving you these cleats as a gift," I'd been wearing them already. For sure. But because I bought them, yeah.
You got to be careful with them, dude.
So maybe like the first outing of spring or something, I'll whip them out.
Nice.
And you're a big merch guy in general, lots of hats. As a player, how important is it to you to be able to kind of represent yourself when you're out on the field through the cleats or anything else that you can take out there and just kind of show your personality?
For sure. Yeah, no, I think it's always like a balance. I feel like that's a two-way street where it's always good to, you know, express yourself and, you know, your kind of style, your style of play, whatever, but it becomes like stepping on toes. It becomes stepping on toes, you know, if you're doing too much and you're drawing too much eyes, like there's a balance you got to have. Like, you can showcase a little bit without taking away from the team, but like some guys, you know, are just full neon gear or like something crazy just to like stand out like a sore thumb. And it's like, I get that you want to be different, but it's kind of taken away from what, you know, this game is. So
does that have to be earned, do you think?
I think so. Absolutely. I've seen a lot of guys show up to just not high levels of baseball, and they're all swagged out, and, you know, like the way they post on Instagram about it, it's like you'd think they're doing so well, but they're worried about the wrong shit. So I worry about the right shit, and I like looking cool while doing it. So
now those have Arizona on them. You're obviously from there. That's why they're there. John and I went to the Arizona Fall League this year. Fell in love with it.
Best state, top 3 state in the union. Top 3 state in the union. I don't want to make any hot takes here too early in the morning.
I think LA. I mean, I think Phoenix, Arizona in general is like a better Los Angeles and a much better Vegas at that
It's
point.
got some Vegas in it.
It's with all the reservation land, there's a lot of casinos out there, which is crazy. But
And there's a Pop Stroke, so it
yeah,
feels
and
like
there's
you're,
Pop Stroke. That's new out there, exactly. There's really a lot to do. Like especially if you got like a week or two to explore a little around the state. Obviously, Grand Canyon, way up there. But like I was saying, you go like an hour north to like Prescott, a couple hours north to Flagstaff. You're seeing snow, super different climate, and then obviously you're down in the valley. Yeah, you're seeing the different climate and stuff, but when you're back in the valley, usually it's a little warmer. But yeah, fortunately enough, you guys were in there in the fall. Beautiful time of the year. Hopefully you got some golf in. The golf courses are unreal that time of the year. But it's definitely a sleeper state. I think a lot of people have the wrong impression about it.
I appreciate you trying to. We're facing the elements here. I think we got to just roll with it. I mean,
all love,
spring training, baby.
Chill, yeah.
It's spring training for everybody.
Gotta love it. Gotta
So we talked about your shoes. Do you have any tattoos that you want to talk about or mean anything really special to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if I stand up. This is my most recent one, just a verse I like, some scripture with the Sacred Heart, and then these are both my grandfathers who were in the Navy. They both were diesel mechanics. So that's just kind of like a family homage. And then this one's for my mom and my mom's side. I got her maiden name, and that's her face, and that's her handwriting. I lost my mom coming up on 3 years now, so that's something I wanted to do for her. And then this is just my dad's last name. And then this is lost two JUCO teammates, my first year of college, both within like 6 months. So that's Route 66, where it runs right around my junior college. So did that for them. And then hands to Adam. God's always reaching out to us, but it's the man in us, the humanity, that kind of turns us away sometimes. And then it's just for Arizona. And that's my Pepe's handwriting. That one. So yeah.
So your tattoos are all pretty. You don't have any misses.
Yeah, pretty much. Like yeah. For the
If
most
you were our age, you might have a random like Japanese letter on your tricep because that was pretty big.
Or like one of like the Mike Tyson, designs.
Or
Not
tribal,
on the face.
some tribal thing across your
100%.
tricep. I mean, those were.
Oh, the thin one that goes around.
I know a lot of kids
Or
in
like
college
the
that got
barbed
those.
wire.
Ooh, barbed wire is a big one.
Barbed wire on the calf. That's like some biker shit.
Which was the most painful of those?
Dom doesn't feel pain, John.
I embrace it. No, playing. By the armpit was pretty rough, and
Yeah.
then the shin was pretty tender.
I can see the shin being a little,
Yeah, that was brutal.
a little tough.
I don't even like when I bang my shin into a table.
I know, right? I'm the type to get mad at like inanimate objects like that too. Like if I hit my elbow on something, just, like I get up and it feels like a door frame. I'm like up in its face.
You look at it like a Somerset Patriot banner.
Another quick one. So we spoke with you back in June. After that, you put out a tweet that Vito and I found quite interesting. It was a food take. And we actually brought it up on Thanksgiving.
Syrup?
Just keep going.
Just
keep going.
Yeah, we got to keep going. No, it was not about syrup. It was about a great side, an elite side, mashed potatoes.
Oh yes.
Are you familiar with the tweet?
Yep, I am 100%.
So Dom said, if that mashed potatoes doesn't have the skin in it, you don't want it. Explain that one.
It's just it's like a texture thing to me. Like I like. Obviously, mashed potatoes are mashed. I just don't like when they're too finely mashed and it becomes like almost like a porridge rice pudding thing. And I don't like when it's too chunky, where it's like potato soup. So a nice in between. When I think of the in between, it's got some skin in there.
You have some other food takes? I mean, that seemed kind of arbitrary, and I was like, this man is a thinker here.
Chunky or smooth peanut butter? Sounds like somebody doesn't like texture as much as they said.
Depends on the situation. Regular PB&J, I'm going crunchy, but if I'm putting it with stuff like, say, like if I'm dipping like a Reese's in it or something like that.
Dipping a Reese's into the peanut butter.
Yeah,
You like to
extra
double.
peanut.
You like extra.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You're a big PB guy.
But then I'd go smooth there,
All
I
right.
don't know. Kind of depends. But
Hot food take?
Yeah.
What's a hot food take?
Oh, what's a hot food take?
Not about. It could be about cold food, but
It's
hot
not
take.
necessarily food. I thought you were going to bring up one of my other tweets. I was saying.
What was the other tweet?
Maple syrup does not belong in the fridge. It never has. It never will belong.
Yeah, I don't know why people. I mean, speaking of people who put peanut butter in the fridge, are just creating
That
cement.
too. That's what's crazy. But the syrup, it's like the consistency of the syrup when it's cold. It's just I don't like it.
No, it's then.
Got to be room temp flowing. You know.
Interesting.
I'm one of those guys. And
See, a lot of people go through tweets and they look for bad stuff. We just look for food opinions.
Yeah, I mean that's what I do. I'm all about food. I just got garlic in my eye like 2 weeks ago.
In your eye?
Tweeted about
How'd that happen?
It's just like a going away dinner. I was living with my buddy Cesare Pasquale, and so we're making just a little like homemade penny vodka, and we were just dicing some garlic, and I was like,
It's better than like a hot sauce.
Yo,
or-
Cesare Pasquale is one of the best names I've heard in my life.
And this is Vito Calisi.
Vito Francis Michelangelo Calisi.
Cesare Pasquale DeLuca. It's like one of my best friends. It's one of my boys.
That's electric.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a paisano. He's a Guido.
All right, we got a couple quick hitters for you and a little game we like to call Meet the Met.
Okay.
So first one, what is your iPhone background on
My mom.
screen?
My mom. Picture of my mom.
All right.
What's your favorite emoji?
Emoji, probably the one with like the steam coming out of his
That's a
nose.
good one. I call it the
That was
LeBron
you before
one.
the
I like
before the
that.
Somerset start.
Exactly.
Mine is the gorilla. The one-
Gorilla's a good one too.
Yeah.
I think you talked about that last podcast. I thought you said something about that, like throwing a gorilla emoji.
I
on
just started doing it. That might be another podcast. Sounds like you have a lot of podcasts.
No,
you
I
do,
think it was
dude.
after when I screwed up the mortadello comment, and then we were like, I was like, wait, well, what time of the day is this sandwich being presented to me? Because that's a variable. And I think you mentioned like a gorilla, something like that. I don't know.
I texted Vito a couple weeks ago. I was like, we got to hit Fort Lauderdale when we're down there, and he hit me with the gorilla emoji. So,
Shall I get it?
what's your dream car?
Dream car, probably a CTSV Cadillac.
If you weren't a baseball player, what would you be?
Probably be in trade school or an actor.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite actor?
For comedy, I'd probably go like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart cracks me up. And then for like a serious actor, I'd probably be going Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay.
He's cool.
What's your favorite sports team outside of baseball?
Suns.
Are they winning it all this year?
I hope so. I mean, they're finally got like a big three that's somewhat healthy and playing together. So, I mean, they're taking up. Started slow, but they're taking up.
It's all about getting hot at the right time.
Exactly.
Who's your celebrity crush?
Sofia Vergara. Modern Family.
She's single.
I know. Tried. Actually,
You tried? Did you try? Did you
No,
try?
that's-
You tried Salma Hayek recently, right?
Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
I was just thanking her for that dinner we had. We went out and just had a couple drinks and just talking. She's cool, but I think we're just different people.
Got
So,
different life goals right now.
Yeah. So I mean, I just said thank you for the time, and we just went our separate ways.
Speaking of goals, what are your goals for 2024?
I mean, we know the main one,
Yeah.
but I guess just continually bringing good energy into the clubhouse, not complaining about nothing, just showing up, being a guy everyone's looking forward to seeing. I think that goes a long way.
Well, dude, thanks so much for sitting down with us for a few minutes. We're really excited to see the season play out, and thanks for coming on the show. We'll see you all in the future.